This is me Sahitya. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll discuss about fundamental duties, part 4A and Article 51A. So let's begin. Here, part 4A, Indian Constitution, fundamental duties, Article 51A talks about fundamental duties are important topics for UPSC prelims, mains, essay, and interview. While fundamental rights tell citizens what they are entitled to, and fundamental duty reminds them what they owe to the nation. So here it is constitutional position. So part 14 sorry 4A and article 51A and topic fundamental duties. So we'll move to the introduction part. So fundamental duties are the moral and civic obligation of citizens towards the nation. They aim to promote patriotism, strengthen national unity, develop citizens develop develop relationships citizens, protect national heritage and environment. So we'll move to the historical background. So originally the constitution did not contain fundamental duties, so it contains only fundamental rights part 3 and DPSPs part 4 that we already discussed in previous videos, but no duties. So why were fundamental duties added? So during 1970, it was felt citizens should not enjoy rights but perform also duties towards society and nations. So source of fundamental duties borrowed from Soviet Union constitution. So constitutional amendment fundamental duties were added by 46th Constitutional Amendment Act 1976, known as mini constitution, and initially it were 10 duties. 86th Amendment Act 2002 added 81th fundamental duties. So now there are 11th fundamental duties related to children's education. So Son Singh Committee, the government appointed the Son Singh Committee to recommend inclusion of fundamental duties. So Article 51A talks about 11 fundamental duties applicable only to the citizen of India. So unlike some fundamental rights that are only available to all citizens of India, unlike some rights that are available to all persons. List of fundamental duties. Article 51A, subclause A, respect the Constitution. Citizens shall abide by Constitution, respect its ideal and institution, respect national flags, and respect national anthem. Example: standing respectfully during national anthem. So Article 51A, subclause B talks about cherish freedom struggle ideas. Cherish freedom struggle ideals. Respect and follow the ideals that inspired India's freedom movement. So that inspired India's freedom movement. Examples: learning about contribution. Mahatma Gandhi, Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose. Now we'll move to the Article 51A, subclause C. Talks about protect sovereignty, unity, and integrity. Every citizen must protect sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India. So we'll move to the example. So example is rejecting separatist and anti-national activities. And now we'll move to the Article 51A, subclause D. Talks about defend the country. So citizens should defend the nation when called upon. Example: serving in the armed force during national emergency. So Article 51A, subclause E talks about promote harmony, promote religious harmony, linguistic harmony, and regional harmony. Renounce practices derogatory to women. Example: opposing communal violence and gender discrimination. So Article 51A, subclause F talks about preserve composite culture, protects India's rich culture heritage. Example: preserving classical dance, folk tradition, monuments, and languages. Article 51A G, subclause G talks about protect environment. So protect and improve, for example, forest, lakes, river, wildlife, and show compassion for living creatures. Example, tree plantation campaigns, wildlife conservations. Article 51A subclause H talks about develop scientific temper, promote scientific temper, humanism, spirit of inquiry, and reform. So we'll move to the next one. Example, rejecting superstitions and encouraging scientific thinking. And Article 51A subclause I talks about safeguard public property, protect public property and avoid violence. Example, not damaging buses, trains, schools or government buildings during protest. This is right move. And we'll move to the next one, Article 51A subclause J. So it talks about a strive towards excellence, aim for excellence in all spheres of life. Example, a student is striving for academic excellence or an athlete representing India internationally. So Article 51A subclause K talks about education duty of parents, added by 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002. So parents or guardians must provide opportunity for education to children aged 6 to 14. 6 to 14, that we already discussed fundamental rights. So example, ensuring children attend school. And classification of duties for easy understanding. National duties are three types of respect constitution, protect sovereignty, and defend country. So we'll move to the social duties. So first one is promote harmony, preserve culture, and third one is protect environment. We'll move to the individual duties. So individual duties will be scientific temper, protect public property, and strive for excellence. So now we'll discuss classification of duties. So we'll move to the feature of fundamental duties. So first one is non-justiciable. Courts cannot directly enforce them. No publish, no punishment merely for not performing a duty unless Parliament makes a law. And second one is moral obligation. So moral obligation means they act as a moral and civic responsibilities. So we'll move to the third one. So features applicable only to citizens, unlike Article 21 or 14. And fourth one is promote discipline and patriotism, encourage responsible citizenships. And we'll move to the criticism of fundamental duties. So first one is non-enforceable, no direct legal sanction, vague expressions, terms like scientific temper, humanism, and excellence are not precisely defined, right? And third one is incomplete list. So incomplete list talks about critic argue, voting should have been included, paying taxes should have been included. And now we will move to the significance of fundamental duties. So they balance rights with responsibilities. Okay, we'll move to the next one, promote national unity, and third one is strengthen democracy, and fourth one is encourage civic consciousness, and fourth one and last one is talks about protect environment and heritage. So we'll move to the differences between fundamental rights and fundamental duties. So here it is, fundamental rights and fundamental duties. So rights of citizens will come to the fundamental rights, and duties of citizens will come to the fundamental duties. So here it is, FR, I am using short forms, please understand it, justiciable, and here non-justiciable. Here it is protect liberty, there it is promote responsibility, and here it is negative obligation on a state, and here it is positive obligation on citizens. So important Supreme Court observations. Courts often use fundamental duties to interpret laws, promote constitutional values, and third one is support environmental protection. So we'll move to the UPSC prelims important facts. Topic part 1. Topic 4A, Article 51A, sources Soviet Union, and added by 46th Amendment Act 1976, and original duties were 10 and present duties are 11. 11th duty added by 86th Amendment 2002, which was related to the children's, which aged 6 to 14. Chronology for revision: 1976 46th Amendment 10th fundamental duties, and 2002 86th Amendment added 11th duty, and present 11th fundamental duties. Online revisions. Article uh, 41A subclause A talks about respect constitution, and subclause B talks about cherish freedom of struggle ideals, and C talks about protect unity and integrity, and D talks about defend the nations, and E talks about promote harmony, and F talks about preserve culture, and G talks about protect environment, and H talks about develop scientific temper, and I talks about protect public property. Nice. And we'll move to the next one. J talks about strive for excellence, and K talks about education of children age 6 to 14 years. We'll move to the mnemonic tree. So R C P D H C E S P E E. R means respect constitution, C means cherish freedom ideals, and P means protect sovereignty, and D means defend country, and H means harmony, and composite cultural C means, and E means environment, and S means scientific temper, and P for public property, and E for excellence, and E for education for children. So men's value addition will talk quote, here it is. So quote is rights and duties are two sides of the same coin. Rights cannot survive without responsible performance of duties. Nice. And we'll move to the conclusion. So fundamental rights empower citizens, BPSP guides the state, and fundamental duties remind citizens of their responsibilities. Together they create a balanced constitutional framework aimed at achieving justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. So thank you.